Matt Porter from Matt Porter Web Design is the Mark Murphy at Breakfast resident technology expert, and he's been watching this along with the rest of us. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning.
This is a global hack, but do you think the NHS has become complacent when it comes to online security?
I don't know whether I could say that or not. There's certainly an issue with patching as in when updates to operating systems become available and those being applied. Evidently, that hasn't happened at a lot of different NHS areas, because if it had, they wouldn't have been infected with this particular malware. So I don't know whether it's complacency or money or whatever it is, but certainly there has been a fix for this problem since March. I think March the 14th, Microsoft released the patch for this security flaw. And I think this security flaw was something called Eternal Blue, which was part of the suite of malware that the NSA had their hands on and was released into the public domain a couple of months back or a few months back. So there's kind of a few issues here with regard, I think, to organisations holding on to information and not letting people like Microsoft know there was a problem, and also patching. People need to patch their computers sort of as soon as possible, really.
What does that mean? You talk about patching, I don't know what that means.
Well, when you have a little icon in the corner of your screen, generally on Windows, it's a little shield or an alert that says there are updates available for your computer, rather than say, I haven't got time to do that at the moment, and ignoring it, actually click on it and apply those fixes. Even with something like Windows XP sort of went out of support a couple of years ago now. There was support was completely dropped by Microsoft, but it appears there are still millions of computers running Windows XP, and in fact Microsoft released a fix for it, even though they're generally, they're not sort of responsible for patching it anymore. So it's a serious problem that needs
right. So
patching.
regular updating. So if you get if you're on an iPhone or something, you get a regular opportunity to update, don't you? So it's the same kind of thing.
What people need to do is, one, back up their data, back it up to removable storage, like a USB drive, make sure it's not connected, back it up, disconnect it, put it on a shelf so it's disconnected completely from their computer. They need to make sure they've got proper antivirus running on their computers, which is up to date, and they need to make sure that they keep their computers up to date. If they don't know how to do that, they need to contact a IT company or a computer shop to explain to them how to do it.
So even now, this should be a warning to every single one of us that's got a device that goes online.
This isn't over. It was the first iteration of this on Friday was stopped by accident by a blogger who registered a domain name, and basically it was a kill switch. But I understand there are new versions of this malware in the wild at the moment, and so therefore people should not panic so much if they're not using file sharing. So when I say file sharing, they might have computers in their household where they share a drive, and then they can copy all their documents about, which is why it's hit organisations so badly, because it's distributed via shared networks. However, if you're at home on your own with only one computer, the chances of you being hit by this are quite low. However, people should be aware that it's not kind of the responsibility of people like Microsoft to ensure their computers are secure. It's their responsibility to make sure they download and install these fixes.
Right. So we really need to be very, very aware, personally, and if we're in business, of all the latest fixes, the latest modifications, and not just keep deferring it and thinking, actually, I'll get round to that at some point.
That's right. It's not something that you should ignore. This is proven. This is an awful thing that's happened, and it's proven that you can't be lax. You have to install these fixes when they are available.
So there was a repair that was sent out to stop this happening. I guess some people obviously used it and others didn't, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, 14th of March, Microsoft released the patches for a whole raft of their operating systems which fix this. If you've got technical, it related to a thing called server message block, which is an old file sharing technology, server message block version 1. Microsoft weren't aware of it until Eternal Blue, which was this tool that the NSA had been using, was released into the wild, and they then patched it. So they've got kind of an axe to grind with everybody this morning, which is probably not surprising because of the size of the problem. But yeah, it's been around for a good sort of 2 months at least, the fix.
Okay. Matt, thanks very much. Matt Porter from Matt Porter Web Design, our resident technology expert.